Hello, welcome to the last episode of Mouses Makes Vlogmas for 2022. It is Christmas Eve. I'm all Christmas treed up. Got my holly. Sorry, I was reading something. Oh, this isn't going well, is it? Oh gosh, my phone's just going nuts with notifications. Hello, Alex. It's just telling me we've got one of those. It's not a Ring doorbell. It's like Amazon's equivalent. And Dave's just gone in and out getting shopping. He's back from work early because it's Christmas Eve. And it just keeps telling me there's somebody at your front door. I don't need to know that. I can hear him. Anyway. I'm knitting. Hello, Nancy. I'm knitting on my anthology throw with my Yarny Corner Advent. This is actually the first time I've touched it since last Saturday when I was knitting it while I was live last Saturday. Because I have been desperately trying to finish my Christmas knits. I've still got, hello Mandy, I've still got a whole foot on a sock to go. Oh, hello Kaz, you got the notification this time, I'm guessing, or you just remembered. Hello anyway, and Merry Christmas. Apparently I can't currently do two things at once. I've only had one tiny sip of my hot chocolate with a splash of rum in it. Look at the mess. Look, can you see this? I'm slipping stitches, not knitting them. I am so many days behind with this. I think I'm still on day, let's have a count up. I've just started day 6. I'm very, very far behind with this. My other Advent knit, I'm not quite as far behind. I think I'm on about day 11, but I've not touched that for over a week either. So they're going to have to carry on after Christmas, aren't they? Hello, and hello Lorraine. I've been very good. All I've had today, I had my breakfast and I've just had some toast and Marmite for lunch. Mainly because I couldn't be bothered to cook myself anything. Everybody's pigging out for Christmas Eve. So, I haven't really got much to tell you at all this week. It's been very uneventful, other than the fact that Christmas has snuck up on me. Well, that's something, Lorraine. I have already started drinking, even though I'm not eating. But all joking aside, I don't drink much. Not because you can't drink with kidney failure, but because alcohol dehydrates you, and that's not very good for your kidneys. So I shall have a little tipple this afternoon, and that'll be it really till lunch tomorrow. Yeah, all week I've been thinking I've still got another week till Christmas, which is despite the fact that I've been opening my Advents every day with the date on them. So I don't really know what's happened to that, really. I've lost a week somewhere. But I have spent quite a lot of time this week making plans. I have decided that next year all my Christmas knitting is going to be done before the 1st of December. In fact, all my knitting is going to be done by the 1st of December. I want my needles clear so that I can concentrate on my Advent knitting, because I do like to knit each day as I open it, and I haven't been able to do that. So yeah, so I've got a new diary for next year, and it's got goals on it, and I think that's going to be my first goal, is have all my needles cleared for the 1st of December. My New Year's resolution is going to be to stop buying patterns on Ravelry, just because someone else in the Zoom group is knitting it, or it pops up on Instagram or something, because I have more than enough patterns. I think I mentioned this last week, and there is no need to buy any more. I not only have stash beyond life expectancy, I have patterns beyond probably 2 or 3 people's life expectancy, so that's unnecessary. I'm going to try and stop saying I'm also going to try and keep up with Denise from Dear Designs Year of the Sock this year, because I failed miserably. Next year rather, I failed miserably this year. What else? Already failed on the not saying I'm planning over the next week to get a file together with everything that I intend to knit in 2023, and only knit from that file, with the exception of socks each month. I've pretty much got it all together already. There's a lot of stuff in there. Excuse me, I'm just stirring my hot chocolate. It's still far too hot to drink. There I go, umming again. I really overwhelmed myself with projects this year, and there are still about 16 or 17 of them sat on the shelf glaring at me. So, oh bless you. You were doing it every day though, weren't you? That is hard work. I could not have done every day. That's why I'm doing this. Yeah, that is so much easier. Yeah, so I've got a list of things that I want to knit, and I'm actually putting the patterns in a file, and I am not knitting anything that's not in that file unless it's to finish off all my leftovers. Oh, Caroline, you're going to have a go at a shawl. Well done. Oh, and Nancy's finished her shawl. I'll look forward to seeing that. Probably be after Christmas now, won't it? But yeah, so that's kind of my knitting plans. I want to carry on dyeing yarn. I am planning an advent for next year, which I'm definitely going to dye for myself, and I might, well, I probably will dye some to go into the Ko-fi shop as well. I'm toying with the idea of doing like a colourway of the month each month, as well as any that I dye up because the mood takes me. The view to that being a blanket, but it's probably going to be an absolutely massive blanket, isn't it? So I need to think that through a bit further, I think. On the subject of the Ko-fi shop, it is currently closed. I closed it over Christmas because, well, the postal strikes, really, and also because, excuse me while I grab this, try not to spill it on my knitting. I put all my dyeing stuff away when we put the Christmas decorations out, and I don't intend to pick them up again till the new year. So, oh, that would be lovely. Baby knits are nice. Have a go at knitting it. I mean, a bought one is nice, but if you knit it, it'll be like an heirloom, won't it? I've still got a blanket lurking about somewhere that I knit when I was expecting Peter, and he'll be 31 next year. So, although that's not going to be an heirloom, because at some point over the years it got trapped in the washing machine, and the washing machine sort of ate a hole in it, but he loved it so much that I couldn't get rid of it. Still lurking about somewhere. Yeah, so I have lots of plans for next year, which I think I'm going to have to write down and hold myself to. My Make 9 from last year, I've just had a look at, and yeah, that was pretty poor. I started one of the sweaters and then pulled it down. I don't think I actually completed anything that was on it, so yeah, we won't talk about that anymore. Someone came up, I think it was last week, it might have been the week before, with the idea that my Stephen West marathon could be my make 9 for this year. So that's that sorted. All I've got to do is keep on track with my timetable for those. January is going to be a bit of a slog, but once I get the yarn wound, because there's quite a lot of yarn sitting around here waiting to be wound to be cast on the 1st of January or on Monday, because the Aurora cabin starts on Monday, the Hibernate along, and I haven't wound the yarn for that yet. Oh, Merry Christmas, Patch and Aria and Ellie and Millie. Try not to destroy the Christmas tree, Patch. Merry Christmas to you too, Eileen. Yeah, I just haven't dared take the time to wind the yarn because I've had so much gift knitting to do. So I might look at one I'm going to gift knit next year and get that started good and early as well. In fact, I think I'm going to start in January. Yeah, I should write it all down in my nice new diary with my goals and my notes and my things to do pages. I'll put it all down in there. And before you know it, it'll be this time next year and I'll be moaning that I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And I haven't done my advents because I've been gift knitting, and I'll have to keep referring back to this video during the year to keep myself under control, I think. My main problem this year was Tonya from Calm as a Stitch. I blame her because she had cast on parties, 4 of them I think during the year, and I went a bit wild. I couldn't just cast on one thing at the cast on party. I had to cast on 5, 7 things, and some of them are still sat over there waiting to be finished. Not all, admittedly. There's definitely 2 things there, possibly more, but yeah, it's Tonya's fault, not mine. I'm a good girl. So probably all I've got to ramble on about, really. So you guys are going to need to tell me some things now, since I have nothing left to tell you. Yes, we're all blaming Tonya. We are, Caroline. She did, all the way from America. She's such a bully. Though you know full well that she's going to be having cast on parties again in 2023 and we'll all go nuts again. But I'm only going nuts from my folder of things that I've agreed to cast on this year. I'm not getting... No, I want all my needles cleared by the 1st of December. Oh, hello, Judy. I dread to think what time it is for you. Merry Christmas to you. It probably is Christmas for you already. You can cast on the Starflake early, Alex. You can, because if you do, you can enter it into Karen from Recreational Knitting's Whip Begone Mal, because that starts on the 1st as well, and it's anything that's on your needles on the 31st of December. So you can cast it on early. That is allowed. I think Amanda's also running Clear Up Your Whips Mal, but I can't remember what it's called. That's Amanda from the Little Lycac podcast. You'll have to watch her last episode because I didn't think to write it down. And Alex, who's about to run off and start casting things on, I suspect, is also having a make along that starts on the 1st of January. And that's called the Test Your Limits. Oh gosh, you want to know them all? Yes. Let me tell you about Alex's make along first. It starts on the 1st of January. I can't remember when it finishes, Alex. I've got June in my head. That might be wishful thinking, bearing in mind what I'm planning to cast on for it. And the idea is that you knit something that sort of tests your limits, basically. it says what it does on the tin. So I'm going to do the Flying Fox wrap, which is a brioche. And I've done brioche before, but this is all shaping. Oh, happy Christmas, Raylene. And all the pussycats and the husband, of course. Oh, 1st of June, Alex's make-along finishes. So that's a good long one. Starflake and the Whip Begone Mal are both 1st of January till 28th of February. I've kept it to 2 months because I've got 2 months to knit each of the Stephen West shawls during the year, which everyone is welcome to join me in on. But I think the Starflake is going to be the only knit along, unless anyone's interested in the others. We'll see. We'll see as we go. What am I planning to knit next year? Well, let me have another sip of my delicious hot chocolate with rum. And I'll get my file out. Oh, I can hear Dave peeling things. That's the wrong file. Don't look at this. This is the wrong file. I've got, excuse the top of my head yet again. I've got lots of sock patterns I want to have a go at. But I won't go through all of those because there's about 11 or 12 of them. I'm going to drop something on the floor. Oh, that came and went before I had a chance to read it, but I think it was Kaz. If it was you, Kaz, Merry Christmas to you too. Don't know if I'm going to get round to these. These are the Sprouting Socks by Hedgehog Fibres. They're very cabley. I've got the Prairie Hat, Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears, that I want to knit some of my hand-dyed into a hat for myself. These were going to be my Christmas socks, but they're now going to be my Christmas socks for next year. Although, to be honest, it's only the colour that makes them Christmassy, so I may knit some up just as ordinary socks as well. There, I'm Here for the Food by Dana Ray Makes. Cargill Cowl by Craya Bear. I've got the Simply Curious Scrappy Cowl here. That only takes 5 grams, so that's the plan for that is literally for it to be leftover oddments. So that might be a long-term project when I've got things of the right size to go in it. Vertices Unite. That's my March to end of April Stephen West Marathon knit, inspired by Alex from My Yarny Corner, who made a beautiful one a couple of months ago. Midsummer Haze Cowl by, oh, who's it by? Oh, it's a Hoagie Locatelli one, I think. This has been in my intend to knit pile for a couple of years and I've just never got round to it. But I have some of my own hand dyed. I don't know if you remember, there was a bit of a disaster with the yarn that I was trying to dye for Ewan's Army sweater that came out very patchy. I've over dyed it and I'm going to use it for this because it's now really pretty. It's like a variegated black with greens and browns coming through, so that's really my kind of colour. So I want to knit that. This was going to be one of my Christmas jumpers, so I'm hoping to get this knit for next Christmas. It's Silver Forest by Jennifer Steinglass. This was going to be another one that I thought would be really quick. It's a Hobbycraft pattern. It's the Festive Fair Isle jumper, and that's a DK. So I'd got all the wool for it. I thought, oh, I'll knock that out really quickly. Yeah, never even got it cast on. Pagona, that is the September. I'm only giving myself 1 month for this one. That's another one that I've had the pattern for a long time, but it was a one skein shawl originally, and he has recently updated it to be this larger shawl, and I do like a large shawl, so I might end up doing both sizes, but not all in the 1 month. This is another one. It's a Hoagie Locatelli one that's been in my my not very short list for quite a while. It's Ley Lines by Hoagie Locatelli, and I have 3 skeins, all the same colour to do it in, which is what you need, but because it's quite large and it's rib, I have yet to start it. I'm hoping to get to it this year. This cowl, which is called the Lumi by Justina Lokowska, I've got all the yarn for this, and I'd hope to have that done for Christmas as well. Yes, I didn't say which Christmas though, did I? This one, which is a pair of mittens by, they're called Abendeland. Mittens with Turkish motif. Not sure who they're by. Lanya Cone Endheim. I'm probably butchering that. Then of course another Rocket Tea or Breezeway, because we've got to have one of those at least every year. I'd like to do another what's this called, Exordium shawl. I love the one I knit last year. Another pair of Christmas socks I never got round to. These are by Anna M. I think they're just called Anna M socks. Western Rose sweater by Baby Cocktails. Again, I've got all the yarn in a bag ready to go for that. A poncho called the Malia Poncho by Bridget Osenbrook. And a couple of hats that I may or may not get round to. They just happen to be in the folder. So added to that is, of course, the Starflake, the Flying Fox wrap, a slumber shawl, a second slip extravaganza because I haven't finished the first one yet, and whatever this year's M Cal is by Stephen West, probably. And some socks. So I'm not gonna stray from that list, I don't think. But I may not get it all done. There's quite a lot there. And bearing in mind I've said that I'm not going to overwhelm myself and I want to finish off all my leftovers, I probably won't get through the whole list, but I am hoping to get the Christmas sweaters done and my Stephen West marathon done, if nothing else. So I hope that answers that question, Caroline. I bet you're sorry you asked now, aren't you? So what about everybody else's plans for next year? It's all very well me sat here. We've lost Alex. I suspect she's run off to find some yarn to cast on already. What's everybody else planning for next year? Are you joining in the Starflake? Oh, I thought I could hear my voice coming from downstairs. It's like an echo. This is very weird, Dave. Turn the telly down. He's downstairs today rather than, he likes to join in during his lunch or at work, but of course he finished early. Oh, Alex. Danny's so mean. Oh, I suppose, yeah, all right. We'll let him off. But you can definitely cast on tomorrow, Alex. So, oh, Judy, I'm so pleased. Are you joining us on the knit along, or are you just gonna take it at your own pace? I don't know if you guys can see the comments, But Dave has just said, welcome to my world, your voice is everywhere. That's not very nice, is it? Oh, hello, Jane. Well, if you're looking for a home for the puppy, I'm sure Dave will hop in the car anytime you say. You might find Aria's missing as well, though. That would be nice. Join in with us and just see how far you get. I will probably do what I did with the last make along, which is as we get to the end, I'll tell you to put just what you've got into the finished object hashtag or thread, just so that I've only got one place to look to draw prizes from. That reminds me. Oh, top secret. I have sorted out a hashtag. The hashtag for just sharing your colours and your progress and what have you is simply Starflake. The hashtag for putting your finished objects in is Starflake FO. I decided not to try and be too complicated this year. And I will open a Ravelry thread probably this afternoon if I remember, because I've said that to myself every day and forgotten so far. So not doing too well. The colours I've chosen are a bit left field. Let me show you. If I can manage to get them without knocking everything down. Oh, gosh. So, I've gone a bit off-piste. This is, oh gosh, that's come out very bright. This is my main colour, which isn't quite that bright. I've got two of these. Yeah, that's a bit more like, it's quite loud, but it's not that bright. It's more like this. Caroline, you don't mean it. You know you don't. This is a Cascade Heritage. 5776. I can't remember what the colourway is called, but I'm using two of these as my main colour, and then I've got these to use as the contrast colour, and I'm going to look at the pattern and see which one I want to place where, if that makes sense. So I'll probably use this. This was my main skein from last year's advent, and it's just really lovely colours. And I want to use this, I think, for, you've got sort of the, what's the word, diamond shapes at the top. So where the yarn is going to show a lot, I think I'll use this one. And this one, which again is it's multicoloured, but it's much more subtle colours. I'll use this more, I'm thinking of this for the brioche, where it's going to essentially stripe with this one. And anywhere where the yarn's not going to show quite so much, I'll probably use this one with this one. I looked through all my yarns, and I've got a couple of colourways that I've got three the same, but that's enough to do a sweater, you know, a tee, or the hoagie shawl, the ley lines shawl. So I don't really want to break those up. So I thought that's on the floor now. I'd mix and match, and I think it's a bit hard to see on the camera, but they kind of blend. All right. Happy Christmas to you, Caroline. We'll see you in the new year. So I think that'll be all right. And if it's not, well, it's only knitting. But I think it'll be, oh gosh, I think it'll be okay. Dropped a stitch. I'm hoping they're going to work, Caroline. I think they will, but we will see. Let me rescue my stitch. Hang on. Yeah, so The one that I've got my Aurora Cabin yarns ready because I dyed all those up. You saw those during the podcast. The only one that I'm still a bit undecided is the colours for the Flying Fox wrap. I'm not going to make it, it's like a huge, it's 88 inches long if you knit the whole thing. And I'm only going to do about half of that because I just want it to come round my neck and cross over, and then I can pin it. So I only really need one skein of my main colour, and I've got a few things that I can choose as the contrast colour, because the contrast is it's a mohair, I think, or an alpaca, and I've got a few things that I can do that with. But that's the only one that I've not decided about, although I'm like 90% decided. I think I might use one of my hand dyed for that. I had got out an orange, and the more I looked at it, the more I thought, oh, I don't really know that I want that as a, what would it go with kind of a thing, you know? So I might save that for some Halloweeny stuff later in the year and use something a bit more. I don't know what he's doing down there now. Might be tearing wrapping paper. I don't know. Poppy's gone off to investigate. Yes, so I'm pretty much sorted for my next few cast-ons. And that's that, really. So, tell me what colours you're planning on. I don't know if Alex knows, because clearly hers are a Christmas present from Danny, so she might not know what she's getting. But what about the rest of you? Do you know what you're going to be casting on with? Do you know what you're going to be casting on? Have you got a Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day cast on planned? I know a lot of people like to do a Christmas Eve cast on. I shan't be doing that because I shall still be trying to finish a Christmas gift. Everyone's gone very quiet. Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah. Lovely. Notions pullover. Very nice, Nancy. You'll have that finished by the time you go back to work. Yeah, so I've got absolutely nothing more to talk to you about. Sorry. Dave is wrapping something up downstairs. I can hear sellotape. Might be what he picked up for Peter on the way home. He might be wrapping up my present, knowing that I am in a controlled environment. Oh yes, I forgot about the Starflake. Oh yes, I'm doing that this year as well. That is a whole year project though. I'll probably get the Starflake shawl finished before I cast on the Starflake. Otherwise I'm going to confuse myself. 10 rows to go on your anthology throw. They're long rows though, aren't they? I can't wait to get to that far. It's not going to happen unless I actually knit on it though, is it? That's the trouble. Right then. Oh gosh, how he's pom-pomming the cats. That probably means he's got a roll of wrapping paper. Lily and Rose in particular, but now also Poppy, love if he's got an empty, like an empty 2-litre bottle, deep purple and mauve. You can't go wrong with deep purple. Or like a cardboard tube. He pom-poms them, which basically means he pumps them with the bottle or the tube. I'm not explaining this very well, but they will come running if he's got a tube or a bottle to be pommed. We've reached the realms of rambling, inconsequential nonsense now, haven't we? Now, Jane, I'm afraid I know you better than that. Oh, no. Oh, Caroline. Was the sleep deprivation Patch's fault, though? I'm sure he's to blame somewhere along the line. Right, I'm going to go because I have run out completely of things to talk to you about. My hot chocolate keeps going cold and I don't want to keep drinking it in front of you. So I'm going to say, thank you so much for sharing your time with me all this year. I hope you'll stick around for next year. Thank you for all the likes and shares on Instagram. Thank you for all the mentions on your own podcasts, which reminds me, I found a new to me podcast the other day because the lady had mentioned my Starflake knit along. So I can't remember the lady's name, which is bad of me. She is Simply in Stitches and she's very experienced. She's not new at all. I just hadn't come across her before. So go and check her out. And apart from that, I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I hope Father Christmas brings you all the things that you asked for. And may plenty of them be wool. Same to you, Aria Bark family. And let's hope we all have an absolutely fabulous 2023. There is a podcast scheduled to go out next Wednesday. And then I will see you again the following Wednesday, where I will decide what I'm going to do about lives in the future, because some of you have asked, could we please have a live maybe once a month? So we'll see if we can do that. So Merry Christmas to all of you, all my Mouseketeers, as they have been christened by Caroline from Aria Bark, and to all my special Zoom friends. Thank you so very much for your support, your company, the laughs, the tears, the listening to my rants, the ranting to me, and particularly Nancy. I would like to give you a very special thank you for the Pringles tube story, which I'm still giggling about now. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Stay safe, and I'll see you all next year. Bye, everyone.